country. His lecture underscored the urgency of harnessing Nigeria's abundant national resources, fertile agricultural lands, becoming creative industries and vibrant technology sector to build a resilient economy. Solid minerals, tourism and renewable energy to reduce dependence on oil, create jobs and foster sustainable development. According to him, institutional reforms and partnerships can unlock the potential in agriculture, solid minerals, manufacturing and renewable energy. Members of staff of the Ogun State Television Ogtv have been charged to be up and doing in the discharge of their duties to collectively take the station to the next level, especially now that Ogtv has been rated very high above many notable stations on the multi-choice platform. The general manager of the station, Mr. Tunde Kazim, gave the charge during the end of year and award presentation program of the People's Daily held at the top floor corridor of the Broadcasting House. Benga Adekoya's report is presented in this package.
Members of the entire staff of Ogun State Television, Ogtv, converged on the top floor corridor of the Broadcasting House for the end of the year general meeting and award presentation program in appreciation and recognition of some staff who have done wonderfully well in the previous year. In his welcome address, the head of administration and supply, Mr. Wole Bangbushe, thanked God for the journey so far, saying it's been God all the way. The general manager of Ogun State Television, Mr. Tunde Kazim, while thanking staff for their cooperation in the years past, noted that despite the hike in the price of petroleum products, the station has continued to wax stronger.
And then we budgeted for in our 2024 budget, we couldn't really achieve all of it because of the economic situation we found ourselves in. The agri had been very challenging.
He promised to prioritize training and retraining of members of staff, as Ogtv has now been rated very high above many notable TV stations on the multi-choice platform, urging members of staff to continue in that spirit.
Ogtv is being rated very high now by multi-choice, the owners of Ogtv and CSTV. This is going to be the first time ever since we joined the platform that going to be rated very high. And it's not that the rating is coming up on the back of group, it's because of what we have done as members of staff.
The meeting provided an interactive session where members of staff, including the station's Joint Action Committee Chairman, Mr. Lanre Shoremeku, raised some issues affecting staff operations, and the General Manager promised prompt action. A word of recognition was thereafter presented to some members of staff who have done wonderfully well in various units and departments. Some of the awardees give glory to God Almighty for the honor done them and promise to keep the flag flying.
The word for hard work is more work, and this is an opportunity to do more. There's more from where this came from, and we trust God to do better.
It's not my doing. I would like to also thank the other staff because it's a collective effort. Without them, I wouldn't be here, and it's also a call for me to do more.
The awardees are Aziz Adelani and Mojisola Sholaja for revenue generation in both junior and senior categories. Tunde Olaniro, News and Current Affairs. Andrew Adebayo, Programs Directorate. Adebayo Adeboye, Engineering. Akintayo Shoyoye, Finance and Accounts. Idris Fagbire, Marketing Department. Ifeoluwa Sholuade, Admin, and Mr. Shola Karim won the General Manager's Award.
As the new year 2025 draws near, traders across Abeokuta are lamenting poor patronage amid skyrocketing of food prices. Speaking with some traders in the Ogun State capital, they said economic situation plays a major role in the way Nigeria celebrates the new year. Tony Gundikwes report is presented in this package.
Celebrating the new year in Nigeria and the last-minute shopping rush is in full swing. But for many Nigeria, the festive spirits, which is a time family are adorned with new clothes, come with a healthy dose of panic, particularly for last-minute shoppers of food. Some traders said inflation and depreciation of Naira have driven up the prices of goods in the market.
ṣe ni wọ́n kàn yí padà ọjà wọn o àti jíjẹ àti mímu kò sí nǹkan tí ò wọ́n aṣọ ọdún gan by this time everybody wọ́n ti máa ra nǹkan ọgbẹ́ tí máa tú yáyá ṣe àárín kankan kan fọwọ́ lẹ́rán látàárọ̀ ni.
Some of the buyers said the hike in price is making it difficult to shop ahead of the new year.
Things are very expensive and you can see people are not really much in the market, but at least some people want to make themselves happy and the children and all that stuff. At least there's still life. Whatever anybody wants to do, you have to do it moderately, because right now, children are still going back to school by next week, so you have to cut your expenses.
It will not be like the one we have been celebrating before. Just by the fact we are still celebrating it. So in as well you use what you have to celebrate it, it will be celebrated.
Stakeholders urge government to see to the high price of commodity in the country.
Elevation does not come to anyone except ordained by God. Therefore, the new duties attached should be discharged according to the will of Almighty Allah. Sheikh Yushau Akeushola gave this charge at the turbaning ceremony organized by Ayatollah Central Mosque under the auspices of Yewa Muslim community, which was held at Ayatollah Praying Ground, Yewa North Local Government Area of Ogun State. Ayodiji Tomori Olumi has more.
Turbaning signifies bestowing honor, transition of power and importance to an individual for the propagation of Islam. To this end, Ayatollah Central Mosque, under the auspice of Yewa Muslim community, installed 7 individuals to assume various Islamic positions.
Ehun tí Al-Qur'an sọ pé ká wò lára ìmáàmù abá lára wọn wọ́n ní déédéé wọ́n ní dáadáa so wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ́ ẹnìkan tó ní àṣàjẹ.
The guest lecturer Fadilak Sheikh Yushau Akewushola charged the new Muslim leaders to discharge their duties, in which they are appointed with the fear of Allah. Dignitaries present at the ceremony admonished them to do all in their might to accommodate peace and propagate Islam.
When responsibility are trust on you, you carry a heavier responsibility than the late as a leader, and you should be mindful of this and guide your followers, which we call Jama, aright at all times.
Leadership in religion comes with a lot of responsibility and sacrifices, and I implore them to take over the responsibilities that have been bestowed upon them.
They should do everything within them to ensure that they promote peace, because Islam is a religion of peace, and I wish them well.
The chiefs pledged to do all in their capacity to preach the gospel of Islam far and wide.
Àmọ́ ṣe déédéé lórí ẹ̀ a sì sùn tọ́lọ́run tà níbà Muhammad lórí ẹ̀ tí wọ́n dá jẹ́ ànífẹ́ bẹ̀sìn jẹ́ ànífẹ́ bàlú jẹ́.
Ìpinnu mi láti gbé ẹ̀sìn ga náà ni pé gbogbo ibi tí àtúnṣe ẹ̀sìn bá ti ń wà a ní láti máa mójútó láti fi máa gbé ẹ̀sìn ga.
The positions assumed are Imam Ratibi Ayobo Ayetoro Central Mosque, Imam Ratibi General Hospital Shala Ayetoro, Imam Idagba Iriakari Estate, Imam Ratibi Isale Araba, Ajanosi Agba of Ayetoro Land, Amiru Jesh of Ayetoro Land, and Afa Alasalatu of Ayetoro Land. Ayodeji Tomori Olunmi, Ogtv News.
Business Reports is next after the break. Don't go away.
Welcome welcome to the business segment of the news. The World Bank has fully disbursed a $1.5 billion loan to Nigeria following the federal government's implementation of key reforms, including removing fuel subsidies and introducing comprehensive tax policies. The loan, part of the reforms for economic stabilization to enable transformation development policy financing initiative, is among the fastest disbursements Nigeria has received, with both tranches released in less than 6 months. According to a World Bank document obtained, the loan was approved on June 13, 2024, with the first tranche of $750 million disbursed on July 2, 2024. The second tranche, tied to the fulfillment of specific economic reform conditions, was disbursed in November 2024. The Auditor General of the Federation has alleged that the Central Bank of Nigeria misappropriated 2.73 trillion naira in interest payments for ways and means advances, raising serious concerns over irregularities in managing government funds. The allegation was disclosed in the consolidated financial statement of the federal government for the year ended December 31, 2021, submitted to the National Assembly by the Auditor General, Shakal Shira. The Ways and Means Facility, a temporary loan mechanism provided by the Central Bank of Nigeria to the government to finance budget deficits, is at the center of the controversy. According to the report, the federal government claims that the CBN retained interest charges amounting to 2.73 trillion naira, using the funds for its sole benefit rather than returning them to the Consolidated Revenue Fund. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister for the Economy, Wale Edun, has commended the performance of the Nigeria Customs Service under the leadership of the Controller General, Wale Adeniyi. Edun commended the service for its pivotal role in boosting Nigeria's economic recovery as the federal government sets a 49 trillion naira expenditure target for 2025. The minister highlighted the NCC's importance during the 61st quarterly board meeting of the agency at the Customs House, Maitama, Abuja. The budget projects 35 trillion naira in revenue, which the customs expected to play a critical role. Speaking further on the customs performance, Edun disclosed that the agency had generated over 5 trillion naira by November 2024. And lastly, on business news, telecommunication operators in Nigeria have warned that service disruption are imminent unless tariffs are adjusted to account for escalating operational costs. The chairman of the Association of Licensed Telecommunications Operators of Nigeria, Benga Adebayo, issued the warning in a statement on Monday. Adebayo described the telecom sector as under siege, citing soaring operational costs driven by inflation, volatile exchange rates, and rising energy prices. He noted that despite these challenges, tariffs have remained unchanged, leaving operators struggling to maintain quality service and expand their networks. That was the business segment of the news. Thanks so much for watching. Back to Wale for the remaining part of the bulletin.
Thank you so much, Busola. From business, we'll cross over to the foreign scene. Dozens of members of civil society and political parties in Guinea on Monday demanded the immediate release of an opposition leader arrested for allegedly insulting the head of the military government. Also, the United States announced a $2.5 billion security assistance package for Ukraine on Monday, as Washington races to provide aid to Kiev before President-elect Donald Trump takes office. Details of these and more on this foreign scene.
Dozens of members of civil society and political parties in Guinea on Monday